Good morning, dear students. I hope you are healthy, safe, and sound and ready for the class. Myself, Dr. Hari Prasad Goenka, Associate Professor in the Department of Commerce, Rabindranath Tagore University. Today's topic is consumer awareness and protection of their rights. The issue of consumer awareness is of always high priority amongst the students, covering a part of their syllabus for CA, CS, LLP, and BCom or BBA courses of various universities in India. It is also essential topic for the businessman, dealer, manufacturer, as well as for all of us, because we all are consumers in our day-to-day life. In this critical situation of crisis, consumer awareness is a burning issue which needs your special attention. I welcome you all to my first slide, which shows you the contents of the topic. Today, the time will permit me to cover the first 5 points only in this part 1 video. So let us begin with first point, introduction. Let me start with an Assamese saying that hui thoka hiale dhoribo nuare ha gotike jaga grahok jaga. It means a sleeping lazy fox cannot catch a duck, so buyer be aware. Through this video, I appeal to all my consumers to get up and be aware. Students, there was a time when it was the seller's market, but now consumer is the king in the market. So I also appeal to the sellers to be aware, as the time for exploitation of consumers, the time for adopting malpractices in business have gone up. Now the buyers are very conscious and smart. Hence, it is the time for all to be fair, honest, and aware. The prime objective of every business is to protect the interest of the consumers or customers. No country or no government can disregard the interest of the consumers. Protecting buyers' interest is the prime duty and responsibility of every business house, because customer is the ultimate goal or the purpose of the business. Ours is the country where we treat the customer equivalent to God. But even then, the profit motive of the sellers, the cutthroat competition for survival in the business, takes him to adopt unethical or immoral practices. Hence, buyer must be aware. Please concentrate on the slide. Consumer awareness is of important priority in our daily life. Consumer awareness is the level of knowledge about the products and services. Here, product and services you see does not mean only the commercial aspects with purchase and sale of goods, but it also includes the health and security aspects of the customers. It makes the consumers aware of his or her rights about products and services. Now we move on to the next slide. This slide contains the definition of a consumer. Who is a consumer? According to the Consumers Protection Act, Section 2, Subsection 7, a consumer is defined as a person who buys any goods or avails a service for a consideration or price. Here, the consumer purchase the goods or services. So goods as well as services both are included and with a consideration, that is price. Hence, consumer is the customer. He may be a buyer or he may be a purchaser of goods or services for his own use, not for the commercial purpose. In the third point you can see here, it does not include a customer who purchases a product for resale. So if a commodity or goods purchased for commercial purpose with resale intention, then it is not covered under the Act. Nowadays, it also covers all purchases including the online transactions. So this is the definition of a consumer. Here students, it is important to note that goods means all movable goods including the food, because we can order for food, pizza, etc. in the hotel, and it is also covered under the goods. Similarly, services, you can understand services include, it may be banking services, finance services, transport services from airways, railways, buses, or any insurance service, electrical service, entertainment, boarding, doctors, engineers, lawyers, architect, or telephone service, or even Ola, Uber, taxi hire services. All services are included. Now, you may be interested to know that who can claim protection under Consumers Act. So under section 2 subsection 5, any victim consumer or any firm, whether registered firm or unregistered firm, or a cooperative society, or a group of persons, or state government or central government, or even a legal hire of a deceased consumer can also claim protection against the Consumers Protection Act. So any consumer who is a victim, he is a complainant. Against whom we can complain? Against manufacturer, against seller, or a shopkeeper, or a company, or a dealer, or any service provider. We can lodge a complaint against these people. Now let us come to the third slide, which contains the preamble of the Consumers Protection Act 1986. Here you can see, according to Consumers Protection Act 1986, it is an act to provide for better protection of the interest of the consumers, and for that purpose to make provision for the establishment of Consumers Council and other authorities for the settlement of consumers dispute for matters connected therewith. This is a definition as per Consumers Protection Act, but I have divided or break up this one sentence into a three part so that it can be easy for the student to understand, because this preamble or this definition contains the objectives. The very first line you can see here on the slide, concentrate please, to provide for better protection. The aim or the objective of the law is to provide for better protection and interest of the consumer. Second point, to make provision for establishment of Consumers Council and other authorities. Similarly, for the third one, the settlement of consumers dispute. The aim or objective of the act also lies that there should be settlement of consumers dispute and any matter connected therewith. So with these three area, we can understand the objective of the act. Even you can understand here what type of protection we need, what type of exploitation are there. We can say that there may be adulterated goods, there may be substandard goods, there may be duplicacy of goods, there may be underweighted goods, there may be defective goods. the price more than MRP may be charged, or any inferior service may be provided from which the consumer or the customer is not satisfied. Similarly, any misleading aid regarding the quality, grade or standard may be given. So all these are a kind of exploitation of the customer. So we have the right, consumers have the right to protect against it. Now let us switch over to the fourth slide. Here you see historical background, consumers related earlier laws in India. Before knowing about the Consumers Protection Act, we must have the preliminary idea that since long back, before independence and post independence, you see there were many laws, directly or indirectly, aiming at the consumer's interest. The first one is Sale of Goods Act 1930, then Agricultural Product Act 1937, which allows the grading and marketing, egg mark, etc. Then comes Drugs Control Act 1950, Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954. This was purely on health issue. Food adulteration was purely with the health issue related. Second, next, Essential Commodities Act 1955, Monopoly and Restricted Trade Practices Act 1969, Standards of Weights and Measurement Act 1976 and again in 1985, Prevention of Black Marketing Act 1980, Bureau of Indian Standards Act 1986 where IS marking was allowed, and again Food and Safety Standard Act 2006. All these acts were more or less related with the interest of the consumers. Even then, consumers was not protected. That is why the necessity for the especially for the consumers to protect the better interest of the consumers, focusing especially on the consumers, a purely consumer related act first time introduced as Consumers Protection Act 1986. It was amended again in 1991, in 1993, in 2002, 2010 and 2016. So you can see here the Consumers Protection Act, though it was enforced with effect from 1/7/87, that is 1st of July 1987. After that, you see it was amended number of times in 91, 93, 2002, 2010 and 2016, almost 5 times amendment. So you can see that Consumers Protection in 1986 could not serve the purpose for which it was enacted. It could not meet up the dire necessity of the consumer's interest. That is why from time to time amendment was required. You see in the 2010 and 16, in between 10 and 16, a huge movement grew up because the business malls, big bazaars and this type of business houses came, and that is why the business took a started a new era. That is why the amendment was required in 2010 and again in 2016. Let us see that after Consumers Protection Act 1986, again there was a necessity to cover the wide area and protect the consumer's interest much more better. That is why a new Consumers Protection Act 2019 was introduced, which you can see in the next slide. Consumers Protection Act 2019. After due consultation with various stakeholders, with new extended provisions and wide coverage for much better protection of consumer interest, this act was introduced with effect from 8th July 2019 by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Ram Vilas Paswan. You see, under the Consumers Protection Act 2019, it was given wide coverage with maximum goods and services with coverage of all sectors, public, private, cooperative, etc. Earlier Act has no provision for separate regulating agency like CCPA. So, provision for new regulating body under section 2 subsection 4, there was a new regulating agency CCPA was introduced, which was formed by the new act to promote and protect or enforce the rights of the consumers. Next point you see here, consumers complain in the locality instead of seller's place. In the earlier laws, there was no provision for the lodging any complaint in the consumer's court in their locality. For example, you can say that if a buyer of Assam consumes a goods which was manufactured in Delhi. So the manufacturer is in Delhi and buyer is in Assam. So if we are to close the complaint, then it was under the Consumers Court of Delhi under the seller's jurisdiction. But under the new Consumers Protection Act, the consumer was given the priority and the act provides this facility to the consumer that he can lodge a complaint against the Delhi manufacturer in his locality in the local district consumers court. This was a big achievement. Again, third one you see new provision for complaint and new jurisdiction limit. There were many amendments and new provisions were made for the complaints and new jurisdiction limit. We will discuss it later on, but still for the time being you can understand that there was a jurisdiction limit because we have a three-tier system in the consumers complaint that we can go in the district forum and the state forum and national forum. With the introduction of this Consumers Protection Act 2019, the word forum was eliminated and instead of forum, the commission word was given. So it was district commission, state commission and national commission. Earlier under the district forum, the limit was 20 lakhs. Under the state commission forum, it was up to 1 crore and under the national commission, it was above 1 crore. But under the Consumers Protection Act 2019, the limit was extended up to rupees 1 crore for any case may be dealt with in the district forum. If a case is in between 1 crore to 10 crore, then it can be dealt with in the state commission. And if the case is more than above 10 crores, then it can be put up in the national commission. So these are the amendments and improvement we can see in comparison to the Consumers Protection Act in between 1986 and 2019. Again, there was a new provision for product liability. Earlier, there was no provision for product liability. Hence, in the present act, consumer can seek compensation for any loss or any type of harm. Again, new provision for inclusion of e-transactions. In the Consumers Act Protection Act 2019, direct selling through e-commerce was also covered. Earlier Act did not cover e-sale or e-purchase. So it was also covered up in the Consumers Protection Act 2019. Again, there were provision for mediation center to help the consumers for their mutual settlement under the new provision of this act. Another achievement was the introduction or establishment of monitoring cell. A monitoring cell was also introduced or established under this new provision which will monitor all the transactions and keep eye on the sellers. So these are the big achievements or special features of the Consumers Protection Act 2019. Now summing up, we can say that in the today's class, from the very beginning, we have a preliminary idea, introduction about the consumers awareness and their rights. Then we have learned the definition of a consumers, what are the items included under the goods and services, who can lodge a complaint, and against whom complaint can be lodged, what is the preamble of the Consumers Protection Act, the objectives of the Act, and historical background as well as Consumers Protection Act 2019 and its feature in nutshell. I think you can follow my lecture that I have discussed so far. The remaining part of the contents of the topic, that is rest of the 5 points, will be discussed in my next video, part 2. You may share your experience, your comment, suggestion for any improvement if you desire. So goodbye, stay safe, take care, thank you.